All right, let's do this. Let's do this. All right. First of all, there's no point in me actually even reviewing this movie because y'all saw it. Y'all saw, don't even fucking play. Don't even fucking play. You saw Avengers Endgame. Y'all saw it. But I just want to talk about it. So we're gonna review Avengers Endgame. Yeah. There will be spoilers. There will be spoilers. So if you haven't seen it, all two of you on the entire fucking planet, go see it. Go see it. As a matter of fact, Oxenius and I actually just watched it again. We just watched it again recently, and it was like it was like pulling teeth to get him to watch it. He took forever to actually see Infinity War and Endgame, so we basically just kind of marathoned the two of them. And that's why I may look a little tired because we've been up all night watching it. So, but it was like, yeah, I told him it's your broccoli. You're just like child, man. You just won't eat your broccoli. You might like broccoli. He liked his broccoli. He liked his broccoli a lot. Let's talk about Endgame. Let's talk about Endgame. I fucking loved it. Fucking loved it. I think most people are saying they fucking loved it. I've seen one guy. There's a guy that's like friends of like Mauler and Wolf who didn't really care for it. He's kind of gave it a 5. That's like the most negative thing I've ever heard about it. I don't know anybody or have seen anybody who's got an issue with this like freaking movie, or doesn't like the movie. I fucking loved Avengers Endgame. I think I said this before when I talked about Infinity War. I've been waiting for this like my entire life. I've been, as a comic book fan. Josh and I used to talk in high school how like, man, wouldn't it be awesome if they were like they did like an Infinity War movie? And it's like we're all like, oh man, it's never gonna happen. And here we are. Here we are like 20 years later, and it's there, and it's just as awesome as it should be. Oxenius and I were talking about it afterwards, and like it was like something I was thinking about when I was watching it again. It's like the comics are good. The Marvel comics are really good. I mean, they have their ups and downs, but at the end of the day, they're good characters and good comics. And it's like, and the Infinity Gauntlet graphic novel is very good as well. It's one of the greatest comic book stories of all time, and it's excellent. If you haven't read it, you should read it. And the thing is, like pretty much everything with the MCU, like Infinity War and Endgame are adaptations of Infinity Gauntlet, but they're not just adaptations. They're doing their own thing. What Marvel gets right consistently in terms of the movies is all the MCU movies are true to the spirit of the characters they're representing, and that's why they excel. That's why they're good. And what's great about like the MCU is that it's like it's a great movie version of the comics, but it stands on its own 2 feet. It's great media that like is in addition to it, that kind of is like uniquely works at it. Kind of like I'm a big Marvel vs. Capcom guy. Well, Marvel vs. Capcom guy is great in terms of video games because it stands on its own even outside of it. Just as a fighter, as a big crossover production, there's a lot to those games. You've got like, there's a lot of great media that Marvel related, whether it be shows or video games or, and of course the comics. And I remember even back in the day, back in the 90s, there was like novelizations. I remember reading Spider-Man: The Venom Factor. Was one of my favorite little book adaptations of Spider-Man, which is really cool. I really like that one. There was a bunch of like books that they had, just straight up books. Just good old novels, not even comics, but like you could read the comics too, of course, at the same time. But I'm rambling. But it's like the MCU stands out uniquely as films, and they're true to the spirit of the comics, regardless of the fact that they do change things and change things often. Infinity War and Endgame are adaptations of the Infinity Gauntlet, but they are their own thing. They are standout films. And I'm going to be a full fanboy right here when I say this. I personally feel Infinity War is a great film. I love it. But I personally feel that like I was going to say that Endgame is like the best movie of the year. I think it's the best movie of all time. I am totally biased in saying that. I am totally biased in saying I know Orson Welles is rolling in his grave. I'm sorry, but his greatest movie is when he played a giant toy. I'm a dick. I'm going to hell for that. No, I mean, look, it's not a perfect film. It's not a perfect film. It's not. It does have problems with it, which I will get to. It's got one big problem for me, which we'll talk about. But it's definitely, it's not a perfect film, but like subjectively for me, it's amazing. It's like, this is like a once in a generation movie. This is like what part of the reason why Star Wars isn't doing well right now is because Star Wars just doesn't mean the same thing anymore. Like Disney is trying to like capture that George Lucas lightning in a bottle, and they can't do it. They can't do it. They had their shot, and they fucked it up with The Last Jedi. And going forward, it's nothing but shit. But it's like Star Wars. I mean, I remember watching The Return of the Jedi when I was like 5. I was one of those kids who like saw Return of the Jedi first and fell in love with that movie and fell in love with Mark Hamill just telling the Emperor I am a Jedi like my father before me, and I was hooked on Star Wars at that point. And it like Star Wars is that like once in a generation series, and the MCU is that again for a whole new group of kids. And even for me, it's great that I got another one in my lifetime, you know. And it's amazing. It's gonna stand the test of time for that. For me personally, it's the best movie in the world. It ain't perfect, nothing is. And I like what Mike at Red Letter Media said, how it's like, you know, it's not as good as Infinity War. Yeah, Infinity War is kind of like the Return of the Jedi, you know, or not Return of the Jedi. Infinity War is kind of like The Empire Strikes Back. It's like put our heroes in the absolute worst situation they possibly can be in before you get them out of it in Return of the Jedi. And then the vlogger digs out an eye booger because I'm classy. Anyway, I don't even know if I really want to spoil anything. Again, you've all seen it anyway, but it's like it's hard to talk about. It's hard to talk about. It's like we start off with this lovely scene with Hawkeye, just him having fun with his family, and then Violet's gone, and they're all gone, and it's just like it starts to get the tears rolling, like right at the beginning, and then Oksana and I were watching it. We were watching it online, and it was like I had to turn my air conditioning off because I'm watching Iron Man just floating through space, and I just like I'm looking. I know he's dying. I've seen the movie before because I had already seen it in the theaters, and I just started getting cold because I know he's dying in space, and it's just the first chunk of the movie is just depression. It's just like they lost, and it just hammers home they lost, and they fucked up. And then like, you know, and it makes you feel it. It makes you sad. Then like the second part of the movie, it gets fun again. And it's like we're with all the time travel, and it really did become a quest for the Infinity Gems. It's like they started going through time and space to get the gems, you know. And then in the end, it's like a freaking Lord of the Rings fight. It's just this big, epic, freaking awesome fight. It 100% proof that I'm justified in trying to combine Marvel and Dungeons and Dragons. It's just great. I don't know. I just want to like so many moments, so many great character moments. All the characters at the end, and it's like and just like all building up to just one of the greatest moments. Avengers assemble, and they just start like the only thing missing was like Aragorn and like freaking like Gandalf, you know. Or the Doctor showing up just this once, Rose. Everybody lives. And we get to see everybody just have their moment and kick freaking ass. Like just right at the beginning, like freaking like, you know, Ant-Man saves the day with the quantum realm. Like there's other little moments too where if you're a comic book fan, you appreciate like the Professor, the Hulk's the Professor now. Hawkeye became Ronin, you know, and is hunting down, killing Yakuza. Captain America picking up Mjolnir and able to use Mjolnir. Fucking amazing. And that sequence too when he's beaten again and Thanos has got his entire army of aliens and the children of Thanos and the fucking sky whales from Avengers all coming at him, and Captain America just gets up and he stands and he keeps walking, and he doesn't say it, he doesn't need to, but I'm saying it for him. As long as one man stands against you, Thanos, you can't possibly win. And then everybody shows up and freaking like Black Panther's there, Wakanda fucking forever, man. It's just, and it all comes in, the Ravagers show up, the Asgardians show up, the freaking like the Kamidaj Mystics show up. Everybody's fucking there. Everybody's fucking there. Someone tell me in the comments if like freaking Nova Corps, was there any Nova Corps people that showed up? Because I didn't see any Nova Corps. I saw Ravagers. I didn't see any Nova Corps, but it's like you know, it's fucking awesome. I just got like, there's so much good stuff. One of the scenes that like a lot of people are hating on Fat Thor. I noticed like Mauler and Wolf were kind of like like they didn't like Thor's arc in this thing. I did, and maybe it's just being a fat guy. Maybe it's a guy who's kind of run through moments where I'm just wondering if like I'm going in the right direction or if I'm not. I get upset like I'm not as successful as I want to be, and it's just like. But also another thing, if you know me, I lost my mom when I was 21, which really sucked. So just kind of seeing Fat Thor interact with his mom and have that one last conversation, that chance to say goodbye, and she just understands everything instantly. She knows exactly what to tell him to do. Yes, you did fail. You failed up big. You're just like everybody else. You may not be who you you want to be. You may not be what you're meant to be, but you are who you are, and just be good at being that. And it's what he needs to keep going and bring Mjolnir back and come in and save the day. So many freaking good moments in this movie. Cap fighting himself, the entire freaking heist and like the Battle of New York. Oh my god. Like the Ancient One, Hulk negotiating with the Ancient One just has so much good stuff. I never thought we were going to see Hydra again. I never thought we were going to see Hydra again, and there they are. And Cap goes in the freaking like the elevator with him. Like, I'll be taking the Lance, and like you think it's going to fight it out, but then it's okay. Hail Hydra, and it hit me at that point. That's a Nicholas Spencer line. That's a Secret Empire shit line. That shitty storyline in the comic books when we decided to say, oh, Captain America for apparently 70 years was secretly a Hydra agent, constantly foiling the Red Skull and Hydra's Nazi plans over and over again, only in 2016 to strike. That'll show them. Fuck you. Fuck you. Nicholas Spencer, go fuck yourself. Fuck you. You suck. You can't write worth shit. But guess what? It's okay. Because the Russo brothers took your shitty fucking line and they actually made it work. About that, at the end of the movie, like, it does feel like they're kind of going in an SJW Marvel direction with a lot of things going on here. But it was like they gave, Cap gives the shield to, like, Hawkeye, and I'm like, oh, man, not Hawkeye. He gives the shield to Falcon. And I'm like, no, man, that sucked in the comics. It sucked in the comics. But I'm like, I just love Anthony Mackie so much. I love his Falcon so much, and it just so works. And it's so right. Like, he's his best friend, and Bucky don't want that shield. And I think like it's implied that Bucky knew what Steve was going to do at the end there. And it's just like he gave him the shield, and it's like, no, you know what? You are worthy of being Captain America, Sam. You are. And maybe in the MCU, maybe it'll be different this time. Maybe it'll be all right. It's just there's so many good fucking moments. The fight at the end is just so sick and insane. It's just like it's so good. It's so good. Like the middle to me is just a big giant crazy adventure, which is a lot of fun. Oh god, what else to talk about? Karen Gillian, you fucking rock. I love you. I loved you as Amy Palm in Doctor Who. You are fucking awesome as Nebula. You are fucking amazing. You were pivotal. You had the best arc out of everybody. I swear. And then but speaking of really good arcs and speaking of really good conclusions, holy shit. You may be inevitable, Thanos, but I am Iron Man. A great send-off to a great character. It just I hated to see Tony die. I hated the fact that basically like certain deaths are permanent. That Loki, well, at least Prime Loki. We're getting a Loki series, and I believe it's going to be. I have the Tesseract Loki we're going to focus on. So that should be fun. We're getting a Black Widow movie, but I definitely hated seeing Black Widow go. Black Widow is hands down. Black Widow and pretty much every single woman in this movie, with the exception of Captain Marvel, is what Captain Marvel should be. You want a feminism icon? Point to any other character in the MCU that is not Captain Marvel, and there you go. And squarely, like, my first finger would go pointing straight to Scarlett Johansson. You fucking kick ass. You are awesome, Scarlett Johansson. You are Black Widow, and you are amazing. You are beautiful. You are badass. You are awesome. You are funny. You are amazing. We see it every day. I'm so mad that your character died in this movie, but you fucking did what you wanted to do. You saved your family. You said it was going to be okay. You saved Hawkeye's family, and it fucking works, man. It fucking works, and it's great. And Cap. But yeah, other deaths were permanent too. Like freaking Vision. Vision ain't coming back either. And it's like, but everybody got a good send-off. It wasn't just for Iron Man, it was for everybody. And that beautiful funeral shot at the end, too. Just like everybody. The Guardians are over here, and Ant-Man and his family's over here. like you know, Scarlet Witch and like Winter Soldier over there. It was great. And finally, Cap's story. He finally got that dance. He finally got that dance. He got to go home and be with Peggy, and it was fucking great. It was fucking great. I think I'm done. I'm done. I basically said it's a great movie. It's great. I am tearing up. I fucking love this movie. It's amazing. It is the best movie I've seen in my life. It's not perfect. Let's talk about what's not perfect. Okay, so all that buildup about Captain Marvel, how she's the new face of the MCU, and we got to have a whole movie, and we got to get this terrible actress to come in. Excuse me. Brie Larson is not a terrible actress, a terrible person. We have to have a terrible person come in and play this character that's going to be the signature of the MCU, and she's barely in the movie. She's barely in the movie. She almost ruins it just by being there. And that's the thing. I hate her in this movie more than I really do like her in Captain Marvel. I liked her in Captain Marvel. I fucking hate her in this film. And maybe it's just the find I got time to digest that, like, yeah, Brie Larson kind of sucks. She's kind of a miserable bitch, kind of a terrible person. Okay. Yeah. And it bleeds through this one. She's way more arrogant and unlikable in this thing. Once again, I think projection. She did a couple things I liked. She punched things. It's all I have use for her for, is punching things. She helped kill Thanos at the beginning of the movie, which, you know, everybody held him down and eventually pissed off Thor to the point Thor lopped his head off. And then she just fucks off and is out of the movie for the entirety of it, which she should be. I honestly think I know what Marvel was trying to do. Marvel wanted another character to be, this is going to be the new face of the MCU going forward. That's why we had Captain Marvel as a movie. We wanted to establish it initially, and we wanted to just finally put this, for the Avengers, we wanted Carol Danvers there, or what should be Carol Danvers. But for my money, it's just Brie Larson is miscast. She is not the right person for the role. There are better actresses out there that could sell it, that could be this character. I personally, my vote would actually go for like Kate Beckinsale. But that's, I mean, again, I have a bias for that. I love Kate Beckinsale in anything, so it's like, yeah. But, yeah, it's just, there's better actresses you can pick that could play this character and could do it right and do it justice. And to be what Carol Danvers has classically been in the comics. What she was back when she was Miss Marvel, back when she was Binary, back when she was Warbird. And Brie Larson is not that. And I think that might be by design. Brie Larson is echoing very much the SJW incarnation of the character. You could tell with the bad haircut. And it's like the movie knew she was bad. I believe what we had here, and I think a lot of other people commented on this before. I think they shot more scenes with her, but they decided to wait and see how Captain Marvel would pan out. And since not as many people liked Captain Marvel, it did well initially and then started dropping off. They realized, okay, yeah, people aren't feeling this, so they just excised her from the film, and it's for the best. The movie knows she sucks. The movie knows she's toxic. And if these interviews we've seen are any indication, like, the cast doesn't even really like her. And again, I would argue we already have multiple feminist icons in the MCU prior to her being there. We have Black Widow. We have Scarlet Witch. We have Valkyrie. We have Okoye. We have the General from Black Panther. We have Gamora. We have Nebula. All this talk about she was going to fucking throw Thanos into the sun, and she's going to be vital and important. No, she wasn't. The movie would have been better with her out in it, or replaced by, this is a second nitpick, and again, this is just me. This is just me. I know it wouldn't work out this way. I don't care. I want it. I'm greedy. Take her out. Put any 20th Century Fox, formerly Marvel character in there in her place, and it would be better. Instead of having Captain Marvel rescue Iron Man, make it Rogue and the X-Men. Of course, Rogue can't breathe in space. But make it Jean. Make it Jean Grey from the X-Men. Bring the X-Men in. Have the X-Men fucking destroy Thanos' ship. Have Deadpool show up. Because I'd love to see Deadpool versus Josh Brolin's Thanos. I would have loved to see Death. I would have loved to see, I have a theory, and I think a lot of people have this too, that basically little baby Gamora after the snap in Infinity War was basically Death. It's like that was a nod to Death from the original comics and his relationship with Death. And I would have loved to just like Deadpool, like Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool, just showing up and making and getting on Thanos' nerves, and it was like, she's just not that into you. She's really not that into you. It's like, but again, that's kind of a different story. I would have loved it if they was the Fantastic Four, if we'd finally had them. Like or again, you don't even need to go there. That's my fanboy. That's what I want. I wanted the I wanted Wolverine. I wanted that fight like initially to just like Thor, Captain America, and Iron Man versus Thanos at the beginning. I would have it would have been perfect for me if Wolverine just jumped on like fucking Hugh Jackman Logan just leaped onto his back and like stabbed him in the back like he did in the comics. Yeah, like if the X-Men and like Deadpool and like the Fantastic Four had been in the lineup in the rush, perfect. I could die happy. I get happy. Josh even said this, man. It's like why couldn't the X-Men be in this? Why couldn't the X-Men be in this? Because to give you something to live for, Eddie. To give you something to live for. And it's like, that's a good point, I guess. But when am I going to get my freaking Avengers with my X-Men? Damn it, I want it. I want Deadpool on the team. Make it happen. When am I going to get a good Fantastic Four movie? I know you can do it, Kevin. Kevin Feige, I know you can do it. Do it, please. I want a Fantastic Four movie to be proud of. Aside from the Roger Corman movie, and I'm not really proud of that. It's better than people give it credit for. It's and if you love shitty movies, it's a good bad movie. It's a good B movie. God, I love you, Roger Corman. I love you. You are a sweet man. I'm gonna give you a big old hug if I meet you at a convention one of these days. I'm gonna get a big old hug for you, and I'm gonna get a copy of like Carnosaur signed by you, and it's gonna be great. So yeah. Anyway, but yeah, no, she then she fucks off. And doesn't come back, and it's appropriate, and comes back at the end, blows up Thanos' ship, and yeah, I'm starting to get sick and tired of her bashing through ships at this point. She gets a couple good hits on Thanos, and it's like, oh, she's so OP, and it's like, oh god, she's gonna beat him, and it's like, yeah, and I think other people have said it before, if she had fucking beaten Thanos, that people would have rioted, but she doesn't. Boom, power gem, bitch slap, done, and it's beautiful. And at the end of the day, it should have been Iron Man. And it was Iron Man. Because not only has Thanos even said, it's like, I've been dreaming about you too. I knew this day would come. Not only has Iron Man been like having nightmares about this to the point where a little kid could whisper in his ear, what happened when you went to space? And he freaks out because he knew Thanos was coming. Not only was he right when Scarlet Witch gave him that vision where he wanted an armor around the world, he knew this was building up to this. Not only have they telegraphed this since day one, not only were they rivals in this, but the fact of the matter is, it doesn't matter who he fights in the comics. It doesn't matter if Thanos is an enemy of every single character in the Marvel Universe. It doesn't matter if he's more an enemy of the Silver Surfer than he ever was of anybody else. It doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, first and foremost, Thanos is an Iron Man villain. And it's appropriate that Iron Man bring him down. It's appropriate that Robert Downey Jr., the man who started the MCU as Iron Man, that he finishes out, echoing this quote from the first movie, I am Iron Man. It's appropriate that he do it. And it's appropriate that the Avengers we know and love, that the characters we know and love do this. Because we've been following them. We've been following their journey and their story and the movies about them. And the Russo brothers recognized that, and they did a great job with it. Josh feels that Captain Marvel should be a good character. Unfortunately, she's not right now. But she should be, and I agree with that. I think, it would be really nice if she were just to get dissatisfied with how her character's received and just leave the store and leave the MCU and, I don't know, go make Unicorn Store 2. Good luck with that, Brie. Or something like that. And just have another actress come in and play her. We already did it with Terrence Howard once. I'm not saying that was the right thing to do, although I do love Don Cheadle as War Machine. But I think we can have another actress come in and play her, and it would be better for it. I think there should be a Captain Marvel or Miss Marvel or whatever she wants to call herself, binary Warren Bird. I think there should be a Carol Danvers in the MCU, and I think she should be an excellent character, a character that everybody can get behind. And I don't think we're there yet. A lot of people hated on like Black Panther, including like freaking Mauler and Wolf, who I have a lot of respect for. But I mean, for my money, Black Panther's excellent. I can't like a lot of people. I think like people went in expecting to hate Captain Marvel, the movie, just to hate it right off the bat, for whatever reason. Whether they be in the more moderate camp that they don't like this kind of like ultra liberal direction they're pushing some of their media in, or if they're just flat out sexist assholes and alt writers or whatnot. It's like, yeah, there are people like that. There are, and there were people who were hating. They were planning to hate Black Panther right off the bat because they don't want to see a black superhero. They don't want to. They don't want to. They don't care about that. There were people that were expecting to hate that were just going in ready to hate it. And the fact of the matter is like, I'm not saying Wolf or Mauler are all those people. Wolf and Mauler, I think, are not. They're not fans of the comic books, so a lot of their like they enjoyed it for what it. They enjoyed parts of it, but overall they just weren't feeling it, and that's okay. Different tastes. I feel like a lot of like Wolf and Mauler's comments reflect that they're not really comic book fans. And a lot of things they're complaining about is like, this doesn't make sense. They're complaining about Wakanda as a culture. Why would you have a technologically advanced civilization that's running around fighting with spears or rhinoceroses? Okay, fair criticism. All I can tell you guys, Mauler and Wolf, is that's the way it is in the comics. It is an adaptation of the comics. It's like their warrior culture and their tribal culture is still important to them, so they carry on into the future. They still use melee weapons, except those melee weapons also typically double as also ranged weapons as well. That's how they roll. It's just how their cultures develop. If it's not for you guys, I understand. But yeah, for my money, Black Panther's a great movie, and and it may not be made for me, but I still love it anyway. I can't stop. I'm still saying Wakanda forever, and I will continue to say Wakanda forever. So I think there should be a Captain Marvel, and she should be done well, but we're not there yet. What do we have to look forward to for my like immediate future for Phase 4? There's a lot of people are concerned about Phase 4, especially with Brie Larson being the face of it, and I don't think she should be the face of it. I think we should. I liked Captain Marvel. I don't think we should have a Captain Marvel 2. At least not now, at least until you recast Brie Larson. I think we should toss Brie Larson, and that's it. I think she's the one problem with this movie, and she's the one problem with the MCU for my money. Get a better actress to play Carol Danvers, and you'll be fine. But we got a couple things to look forward to. We got Spider-Man: Far From Home. We've got, which I'm excited about. We've got Guardians 3, which I'm super excited about, especially since Marvel Disney fucking fired James Gunn over pedo jokes he made 9 years ago to Lloyd Kaufman. Yes, believe it or not, James Gunn has a sick sense of humor. Have you seen Slither? I have. Have you seen Belko Experiments? I have, Jeremy. Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers. I love you, man. But yeah, come on, dude. Come on. You judged him way too harshly. I remember that freaking podcast you did about that a while ago. But yeah, and everybody at Marvel stood up for him, as they should have. James Gunn is back for not only Guardians 3, but he's also going to be working on Suicide Squad. And yeah, again, look, man, if the DCEU gets 2 more good movies, I'll come back and watch it. I will. I will. I think they need 1 more to get not to to be equally balanced between shitty movies and good movies. Just 1 more. 1 more, and I'll see Wonder Woman. I swear to God, I'll see it, and I'll probably love it. At that point, it's like, all right, then I'll finally forgive DC Comics for hurting me, for hurting me with Man of Steel. But yeah, he's coming back for that. Like, Thor is going to be part of the team. My money is that movie's going to be like a search for Gamora, because I think I just realized on the second viewing, Gamora ain't on that ship, and I think it's going to be like a quest for Gamora, trying to find Gamora. And that should be neat. I'm looking forward to that. We got Doctor Strange 2 coming out eventually, so I'm excited about that. We've got some TV series. We got a Loki TV series. We got a What If series coming up. We have Falcon and Winter Soldier. There's some good stuff. There's gonna be some good stuff for Phase 4. People are wondering how they're gonna do it. I think they should take the time. I think they should take a little bit of a break, and just build up and start small again and build back up. And I think the big thing that we should be building up to for the MCU is it's time. It is time for the X-Men to come home. It is time for Deadpool to come home. It's time for the Fantastic Four to not only come home, but to get a good fucking movie for once in their existence, because they've never had one. It's time for the Silver Surfer to come home, and for my money, just recast Doug Jones as Silver Surfer. He look, I may have issue with the Tim Story Fantastic Four movies, but he did an excellent job as the Silver Surfer, and I think it's time to see a proper Galactus. I think it's also a good time to actually explore in certain things, maybe even reference Thanos. I think maybe we should explore some of the more cosmic or crazier elements. I think it's time we saw Mephisto. I think it's time we saw Death. And maybe, point out that there was more to what Thanos was doing. That maybe someone was whispering in his ear and motivating him to balance the universe. Like a certain Grim Reaper lady that can appear as that which he most loves, which in his case would be his daughter. I think it's time to see the Celestials. I think it's time for a lot of things. I think it's time to get, I think it's time to get a proper X-Men in the MCU, and maybe even a build-up to another Dark Phoenix saga. Which, by the way, I'm interested in seeing. Again, the trailer looks good. Trailers have lied to me before. Man of Steel. But I'm looking. I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm cautiously optimistic for it. I gotta say though, Oxenius and I were talking about it afterwards. It's look, if they're done, if everything else they do after this is shit, it's okay, because you know what? I have Avengers Endgame, and it's the perfect ending to close out this chapter. They could close out the MCU right now, and it would be perfect. I am cautiously optimistic though. Now. I mean, okay, mind you, this didn't work out, but I was optimistic for new Star Wars. I still like The Force Awakens for what it is. I genuinely like Rogue One. The expanded universe is still fucking canon. I don't care all this Legends bullshit. And Rebels is good. But then The Last Jedi fucked things up. And I think it's time to address the Mark Hamill milk drinking elephant in the room about the upcoming Star Wars. So we're going to have a sit down and we're going to talk about Rise of Skywalker. But yeah, I just needed a moment. I needed a moment to talk to you all and enjoy myself and talk to you about how good this movie was. Although I know you've all seen it and I know you all think the same thing. This is the Dread Pirate saying, Avengers Assemble. Catch y'all later.